Here's something that might genuinely surprise you. For decades, millions of Americans threw out their butter, switched to margarine, and felt proud of themselves for making the healthy choice. They listened to their doctors, they followed the guidelines, they did everything right. And yet, the science tells a completely different story. One that the margarine industry spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to keep you from hearing. So let's settle this once and for all, butter versus margarine. And I'm not going to give you opinions, I'm going to give you facts. Let's start with something fundamental. Butter is a completely natural food. Human beings have been eating it for at least 5,000 years. Think about that. 5,000 years of human history, and butter was on the table. Your great-grandmother used it, her great-grandmother used it, it came from a cow, it got churned, and it ended up in your kitchen. That's it. Simple, natural, real. Margarine. That's a different story entirely. Margarine is manufactured inside a chemical factory. It was invented roughly 90 to 100 years ago, and from day one it was a product built on industrial processing, not nature. The fatty acids in margarine are chemically extracted from vegetable seeds through processes that have absolutely no equivalent anywhere in the natural world. When you spread margarine on your toast, you're eating the result of industrial chemistry, not food the way your body evolved to recognize it. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Let's talk about what's actually inside butter, because most people have no idea. Butter contains hundreds of different healthy fatty acids, real naturally occurring fats, that your body knows exactly what to do with. It has about 24 milligrams of calcium per 100 gram serving. It actually contains vitamin C, yes, you read that right, vitamin C, along with over 3,500 international units of real vitamin A, not synthetic, not added in a factory, real bioavailable vitamin A that your body can use immediately. But wait, it gets better. Butter also contains vitamin E, vitamin D, vitamin K2, which plays a crucial role in heart and bone health, vitamin B12, butyrate, conjugated linoleic acid, and omega-3 fatty acids. That's an impressive nutritional profile for something that got demonized for the better part of 50 years. Now let's look at margarine's nutritional scorecard. Calcium, none. Vitamin C, none. Real vitamin A, none. Vitamin K2, butyrate, conjugated linoleic acid, omega-3 fatty acids, none, none, none and none. This isn't even a close competition. This is a complete mismatch. And then there's the trans fat issue, and this one genuinely matters for your heart health. Butter contains essentially zero naturally occurring trans fats. Margarine, on the other hand, was loaded with artificial trans fats for decades. These are the same trans fats that researchers have directly linked to increased LDL cholesterol, inflammation, and cardiovascular disease. The FDA eventually stepped in and forced manufacturers to remove them, but here's what most people still don't know. Trace amounts of trans fats remain in many margarines today, particularly stick margarine, and if you cook with margarine and apply heat to it, the number of trans fats increases significantly. So even the improved modern margarine still carries real risks that butter simply doesn't. You're probably wondering, how did margarine ever get labeled as the healthy option in the first place? That's a fair question, and the answer is uncomfortable. It wasn't science, it was marketing. Margarine companies poured enormous amounts of money into advertising campaigns specifically designed to convince the American public and the medical community that their product was heart healthy. Some healthcare providers genuinely believed what they were told. They weren't lying to you, they were working with incomplete industry-influenced information, but the result was the same. Generations of Americans were steered away from a natural, nutrient-dense food and toward a factory-made substitute that delivered far fewer benefits and real documented risks. Here's the practical takeaway. If you've been using margarine because you thought it was the safer, healthier choice, the evidence simply doesn't support that anymore. Real butter, used in reasonable amounts as part of a balanced diet, gives your body natural fats, fat-soluble vitamins and nutrients that margarine cannot match. And if you have specific health conditions like high cholesterol or cardiovascular disease, this is absolutely a conversation worth having with your doctor. Bring the research, ask the hard questions, and don't just accept outdated guidelines at face value. The science on this has shifted dramatically over the past 2 decades. Saturated fat from natural animal sources like butter behaves very differently in your body than artificially processed fats from margarine. The blanket all-saturated fat is bad narrative that defined nutrition advice for 50 years has been seriously challenged by modern research, and the picture emerging is far more nuanced and far more favorable to traditional whole foods like butter. So the next time you're standing in the grocery store staring at the dairy section, you can feel genuinely good about reaching for the butter. It's real food. It's been real food for thousands of years, and the science, when you look at it honestly, backs that up completely. If this changed the way you think about something you've heard your whole life, go ahead and hit subscribe, because this is exactly what this channel is about. Real research, honest information, no fluff, no industry spin, just the truth about your health every single week.